Scene script. Have you ever wondered what happens to old satellites and spent rocket stages? Well, they don't just disappear into the cosmic abyss. Instead, they linger on as what we call space junk, or orbital debris. Now let's hop into our time machine and rewind back to the dawn of the space age. The year is 1957, and the launch of the first artificial satellite, Sputnik, marks a monumental step in human history. As we began to conquer the final frontier, little did we know that we were also sowing the seeds of a problem that would grow to be a significant concern for future space missions. In those early days, the idea of space junk wasn't even on the radar. The vastness of space seemed to offer an infinite playground for our celestial ambitions. With each successful mission, we celebrated, marveling at our achievements. However, in our euphoria, we turned a blind eye to the trail of debris we were leaving behind. Every spent rocket stage, every old satellite, every piece of equipment that outlived its usefulness became a permanent resident of our planet's orbit. These remnants of our space endeavors, once symbols of our progress, have now become hazardous clutter. As we ventured further and launched more, the problem escalated. Objects in space travel at incredibly high speeds, and even the tiniest piece of debris can cause significant damage upon collision. This isn't just a matter of keeping space tidy. It's about ensuring the safety of our astronauts and protecting the satellite systems we depend on daily. From weather forecasting to GPS navigation, from telecommunications to national security, these systems have become integral to our modern lives. But the growing cloud of space junk threatens their functionality, and by extension, our way of life. So it seems our reach for the stars has left a trail of debris behind. But remember, the sky isn't the limit when it comes to solving this problem. As we'll see in the upcoming scenes, there's much we can do to tackle this issue head-on. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the accumulation problem, the current crisis, the cleanup efforts, and how you can be part of the solution. But how did we get from a few pieces of space debris to an orbiting junkyard? Well, our journey to this space rubbish predicament started in the 70s and 80s, when the space industry began to boom. The allure of the final frontier attracted nations worldwide, and soon rockets were shooting up into the sky like it was a New Year's Eve fireworks display. The problem, each launch left a trail of debris in its wake. In the beginning, these fragments were few and far between. But as we continued to reach for the stars, the number of discarded rocket stages, dead satellites, and other leftovers began to accumulate. The cosmos became cluttered, and our orbit transformed into a floating landfill. Our space junk situation worsened significantly due to a few major incidents. Let's take a trip down memory lane to 2007. That year, China conducted an anti-satellite test, which ended up creating a cloud of more than 3,000 pieces of debris. These fragments are still whizzing around our planet, posing a constant threat to other satellites and space missions. Fast forward to 2009. This year marked another significant event in our space debris saga. Iridium 33, a commercial communications satellite, and Cosmos 2251, a defunct Russian satellite, collided at a speed of over 26,000 miles per hour. This high-speed mishap resulted in a shower of scrap metal, adding more than 2,000 additional pieces to our growing collection of orbital debris. These incidents serve as stark reminders of the potential consequences of our actions. Each piece of debris we leave behind increases the risk of collisions, creating a domino effect that could make space exploration and satellite operations increasingly hazardous. So, what's the outcome of our space exploits and a few unfortunate incidents? We've created a cloud of high-speed projectiles orbiting our planet, an orbiting junkyard, if you will, circling above us, a testament to our ambition, but also a stark reminder of the mess we've made. And so we've created a cloud of high-speed projectiles orbiting our planet. Fast forward to today, and the situation is more dire than ever. We're not just talking about deserted satellites or spent rocket stages lazily whirling about in the vastness of space. We're speaking of an estimated 100 million pieces of debris, each with the potential to wreak havoc on our endeavors beyond Earth's atmosphere. These fragments range from particles barely visible to the naked eye to objects the size of a double-decker bus. And while the smaller bits might not seem threatening, even a fleck of paint traveling at high velocity can inflict significant damage to a spaceship. Larger pieces? They pose an existential threat to both manned and unmanned missions. with the power to obliterate satellites and seriously compromise the International Space Station. But the danger doesn't end there. As these fragments collide and shatter, they create more debris, a vicious cycle of destruction known as the Kessler syndrome. Named after NASA scientist Donald J. Kessler, this scenario paints a grim picture. When the density of objects in low Earth orbit becomes high enough, collisions become inevitable, each one creating a cascade of further collisions, an exponential increase that could render space travel and satellite deployment an impossibility. And it's not a distant theoretical threat. It's happening now, right above our heads. In 2009, for instance, a defunct Russian satellite and a functioning American one collided over Siberia, creating 2,000 pieces of trackable debris and countless more too small to monitor. It's a crisis of our own making, one that's been decades in the making. Each launch, each mission, each satellite we've sent skyward has contributed to an ever-growing storm of space junk. And with the commercial space industry on the rise, the rate of debris creation is set to accelerate. Our space endeavors are now threading a needle through a whirlwind of debris. Amidst this crisis, hope emerges from the minds of innovative problem solvers. In the face of the growing orbital debris problem, a multitude of initiatives are springing into action across the globe. These solutions are as diverse as they are ingenious, ranging from the use of nets and harpoons to powerful lasers. Let's start with nets. Yes, you heard that right. Nets are being used to catch space junk. An initiative by the European Space Agency named Clean Space 1 is developing a net system to capture and deorbit defunct satellites. This might sound like a scene from an intergalactic fishing trip, but it's a real practical solution to our space junk problem. Then, there are the harpoons. Another European Space Agency project, the eDeorbit mission, plans to use a robotic arm equipped with a harpoon to spear larger pieces of debris. Once speared, these pieces will be safely guided back to Earth, where they will burn up upon re-entry. But the innovations don't stop there. Lasers are another proposed method for cleaning up our skies. The idea is to use ground-based lasers to slow down the debris, causing it to fall towards Earth and burn up in the atmosphere. This concept is being researched by organizations like the NASA's Orbital Debris Program Office. And it's not just organizations, but entire countries are joining the cleanup efforts. Japan's Aerospace Exploration Agency, for instance, is developing an electrodynamic tether system to drag space junk out of orbit. Russia, too, is contemplating a spacecraft called the Liquidator, designed to collect and deorbit space debris. Meanwhile, China's Tianzhou-1 cargo spacecraft has been testing maneuvers to dodge space debris, a necessary skill as cleanup efforts progress. These cleanup initiatives are a testament to the innovative spirit of humanity. They reveal our capacity to confront problems head-on and find solutions, even in the most challenging of circumstances, even when the problem is as vast and complex as the cosmos. So, as we stare up at the night sky, let's remember the men and women working tirelessly to safeguard our celestial view. Their efforts remind us that the space above us is not just a frontier for exploration, but also a shared resource we must protect. The race is on to clean up our cosmic backyard. Scene script. But what can we, as ordinary Earthlings, do about this problem? You might feel small, like a single star in a galaxy, when pondering the enormity of space. But remember, even the smallest stars can illuminate the darkest corners. So, let's break down how your light can shine in this space junk showdown. First and foremost, awareness is paramount. It's like the old saying goes, knowledge is power. The more we understand about the problem, the better equipped we are to tackle it. So, take the time to learn about the issues surrounding space debris. Once you're armed with this knowledge, share it. Talk to your friends, family, and anyone who'll listen. Share posts on social media, write a blog, or even host a space-themed trivia night. You'd be surprised at how far-reaching a single conversation can be. Next, support is essential. There are numerous organizations out there working tirelessly to clean up our cosmic backyard. They're developing innovative technologies and strategies, but they can't do it alone. They need our backing. Consider supporting these groups, either through monetary donations, volunteering, or simply by spreading the word about their efforts. Lastly, advocacy is crucial. We need to champion responsible space practices. This means pushing for stricter regulations on space missions, lobbying for decommissioning plans for satellites, and advocating for research into sustainable space technologies. You can do this by writing to your local representatives, signing petitions, or attending public forums and debates. Just like the Earth's environment, the space environment belongs to all of us. We all have a stake in its preservation. By spreading awareness, offering support, and advocating for change, we can play a part in the solution to the orbital debris problem. The task may seem as vast as the cosmos itself, but remember, every giant leap starts with a small step, and every one of us can take that step. Your actions, no matter how small, can contribute to a larger movement. Together, we can ensure that our future in space remains clear and safe.